What's up? Welcome to your Self-Helpless Snack, where we give you a little taste of the Self-Helpless podcast with a mini episode. If you want to dive deeper into this topic, you can find the full episode linked in this episode's description. Would you mind just giving us an overview of what is PTSD?
Yeah, so PTSD, for anyone that doesn't know, post-traumatic stress disorder, basically it is the sign of an over-adapted brain. So like if we go through something that is traumatic, and I'm defining trauma as something where we feel like we are in danger or, where there's fear there, in that moment, it makes sense for the brain to adapt and be very much aware. So, for example, hypervigilance, always be on the lookout and seeing what's going on. That makes sense if we are really in danger. Now, if you're off at war, then you want to have those symptoms. That's actually going to be adaptive for you. You want to be on the lookout. You want to be very alert. You don't want to be calm at all. But now, after that is over, you're taken out of the traumatic incident scene or whatever it is. Now you're in a different environment, but the brain doesn't know that. The brain is still responding as though you're still in the middle of that war, you're still in that car accident, you're still being held at gunpoint or whatever it is. And so that's why I'm saying over adapted, because that's an adaptive behavior in the instance of an emergency, but it's no longer adaptive if we're safe now and the traumatic situation is gone. So that's pretty much what it is. You've gone through something that was traumatic, it was very scary for you. And now the time is over and you're safe now. There's no longer an issue, but the body is still responding as though it is.
How do you start to tell the body and the brain that you're no longer in that dangerous situation? What kind of things do people have to implement to improve their PTSD?
Yeah. So that can be challenging. It depends on your particular approach. So, like for me, I'm trained in EMDR, eye movement desensitization and reprocessing. It's a therapeutic technique that helps your brain to reprocess information that was processed incorrectly, and now it's stored in your brain in a way that it keeps coming up for you. Because the main thing that we look at with PTSD and what lets us know somebody is dealing with PTSD is intrusion, meaning the event is over, it's past. Now you're going on, you're trying to live your life, but you can't because symptoms, things from before, keep intruding into your current day life. So that can look like nightmares. I can't sleep because I keep dreaming about what happened. Or I'm just trying to have breakfast and I keep having visions of the thing that happened. I'm talking to people, I keep having visions. Or so many different things remind you of it. It's constantly just intruding into your life, is interrupting your regular day. And so through EMDR, it helps the brain. That's what I do. There are other ways. It helps the brain to reprocess that story so that the intrusion won't come up anymore.
So it's like getting stored in a different part of your brain after you're reprocessing the memory in a way.
Yeah. So anytime we go through something traumatic, in that moment, our brain is going to start working differently. So when we're like relaxed and calm, you're going to be mostly in this frontal lobe, and that's where you can do like all of your executive thinking and functioning. Like when you're at work, like right now, we're probably all in the frontal lobe. But if something happens, like oh, I don't feel safe, something's going on, that frontal lobe that goes offline. And so then if we feel like I'm scared, there's this little part in the middle of the brain. And of course I'm simplifying this, but there's a little part in the middle of the brain. It's called the amygdala. And that's kind of like the fear center or the trauma center. And so that's the part that comes on that lets me know, oh, I'm not safe. I need to do something to get to safety. And so most people have heard of like fight, flight, or freeze. So that's we'll go into that. I need to fight my way off. I need to be aggressive, or I need to run and get out of here. Or kind of like a possum. I'm so overwhelmed that just freeze. I don't know what to do, and so that we're going to do some version of that in the moment until we get to safety. Now, once we get to safety, this event is over. Now, this is what we want to happen, and this could help. This is why we need community. We want to be able to say, "Man, that thing that just happened, that was wild. That was really, really scary, but I'm okay now. It's over. It's in the past. It's not here anymore, and I'm okay." And so and usually when you have other people that are there to talk to you and help you and say, oh no, that wasn't your fault or whatever it is, it can help you get to that point. If we do that, we can go through the craziest thing. But as long as you can get to the point of it's over, I'm okay, it's in the past, I'm here, it's there, You're going to be fine. You're not going to have PTSD. But when we get to PTSD, that means that it wasn't processed in that way. So we never got to the point of it's over, it's fine. It got stuck somewhere. And usually when it gets stuck, it's because we develop some type of negative belief about ourselves. Okay, so if I am going through a car crash or something, I was in a car accident, and so now I'm really, really scared and I can't drive again. Instead of processing that in a way where I got to be able to say, like, man, that was crazy, but it's over, I'm safe. Maybe I made sense of that in a way that it said, oh my gosh, I am so alone and I'm not safe and I'm going to die. And not in the eventual sense of everybody's going to die, but like, I am going to die. Now, if that's the way I process it, I can't get to it's over, I'm okay. I'm stuck in, I'm alone, I'm unsafe, I'm going to die. And so if that's the case, then anytime I get back in the car, what's coming up? I'm alone, I'm going to die. That's what PTSD is. It's coming back. It's the intrusion of what was present before, but it's feeling present now.
What if somebody's tuning in right now and they believe that one of their loved ones is suffering from PTSD, but they're not sure how to approach them about it? Maybe that person is not trusting of people and they don't want to seek a professional or something. Like, what is the best way to kind of get them the support that they need?
Yeah, yeah. And so I think it would depend on, even if they are not trusting of other people in general, I would say to that person, are they trusting of you? Do you have that relationship? Because if you have that relationship with them, then you have an advantage. Like you have a certain end that other people wouldn't have. And so in general, maybe they don't like other people, or maybe they don't like therapy, or they feel like, I don't want to deal with that stuff. It's fake, it's silly for you to just be able to say, and it doesn't always have to be saying like, hey, I think you should get a therapist, but starting off and saying just like, how are you doing? Like, I'm concerned about you. Like, what is your life like right now? What are you experiencing? I'm asking because I'm noticing that you're sleeping a lot more, or that a lot less, or I'm noticing that you get really, really irritable and that it used to be your thing. I'm noticing that you used to always come with me to the parties and now you don't. I'm noticing a change in you and I'm concerned. And so you don't want to lead with, oh, go talk to the specialist or anything. You just really want to try to get them to open up with you about their experience. Because if they say, yeah, it has been rough, or now, yeah, I don't go to the parties anymore because that's really scary for me, or if you can get them to do that, then they will be more likely if you said, oh, okay, well, that sounds really tough. Well, if you need some help, I can recommend, I know some people who can help with that. I know a different therapist, or even I was reading an article the other day. You want me to send that to you? That might be helpful. Like, you would just want to ease it in, because they may not take the bait immediately, but you want to at least be able to put it there. And so, you don't want to just say like, hey, I can see you're going through this. You need to go to therapy. You're probably going to shut that down. But like, hey, how are you doing? I'm noticing some differences in your behavior. I'm concerned about you. What is it like? And then if you can gauge from there, are they open to any type of resource? Again, even if it's just an article, even if it's just hey, I got this YouTube video, it helps me to calm my breathing. I can send it to you. Maybe try that, but just something small to get them to be open to it.
Thank you for tuning in to Self-Helpless. You can find our brand new merch, Patreon community, and other fun goodies at selfhelplesspodcast.com. We'd be thrilled if you left an Apple Podcast review, shared this episode with a friend, or post about it on Instagram and tag us at Self-Helpless Podcast so we could repost you and say hi. As an independently produced show, we sincerely appreciate your support. Thanks, everybody.